You see, the sad reality of life is that every few months we're going to come out and have stories like this. And I say every few months because only the strongest of the strong would have the courage to come speak out. Because this situation happens every single day in Nigeria. Now, the only reason this story is even more devastating is because this young girl right here unalived herself because she couldn't deal with trauma. Now, let's even get into the story for those who don't know. Now, this young girl, she's between 20, almost 21 years old. She was going through a family situation and she decided to reach out to a content creator, this guy over here. So the young lady entered his inbox and explained to him how she's going through a family situation and she was invited to Abuja, but the person in Abuja is expecting her to put out, and she's still a virgin and couldn't be involved in that, and she cried to him. Now, he's a popularly known creator, and he says, you know what, don't do that, don't put yourself through that, come over to Asaba and I would help you. I would sort out the problem. So the young girl trusted him. Now, you see, when women come out and say, not all men, but always a man, a lot of men get offended because they do not understand the severity of what women have to go through every day. They say not all men, but we are supposed to blindly trust. And in a generation where we have been through so much trauma and we don't even know who to trust anymore, people would always come out and have different things to say. Now, this young girl went all the way to Asaba, and on getting there, I don't know what led to what, and she ended up in the room with the guy. He said he needed to change or something. Before you know it, he decided to essay her, even after she begged and pleaded that she was still a virgin and she did not want the situation. He still went ahead. He still tried to keep her there overnight so he could continue with no remorse and anything. He begged her for a little bit and he still wanted to keep going. Now, she went back home. Mind you, he was supposed to take care of her and help her with whatever issue she has, because in this life, you cannot do life alone. And in my next video, I would explain who I blame in these kind of situations. Now, she goes back home, 2 weeks passes, and the guy did not do absolutely nothing for her. Instead, he gives her the barest of minimum of 10,000 naira. Now, a girl in this situation that is already traumatized and is already feeling a kind of way, she has now lost her virginity and cannot even move forward with her life. The reason she went there, she didn't even get that. At least in the worst case situation, a consolation prize, nothing. She couldn't bear the pain and she decided to end everything. And here comes the internet. Oh, but why would she take her own life? Or why did she even go there? Or why do you trust men? It baffles me how every time there's a victim, a situation, the first thing we do is actually blame the person. You see, I think when people say, why did she unalive herself? It pains me so much because I think in 2026, we have normalized essay. It is something that happens literally every day to someone's child, that we have normalized it and we do not understand the lifetime effects of essay. You see a lot of people, and even when I see women say, oh, but you should have known better, or you should have done this, or this and that, I'm like, bro, this is a young girl. We're not supposed to be born into a world where we don't trust people. If I come to you and I cry for something and I say, this is my issue, and you tell me to trust you to come, why should my automatic response be fear? This is what women go through every single day. And let me explain this to those that don't understand. To a lot of men and a lot of women, they feel like, oh, it's just essay, you'll get over it. That never leaves your mind. It's in there. At first, you go through the process of trying to understand what happened to you. Then you go through the process of complete shame because for some reason, SA victims have been made to feel shame. And you can't even go to the police because in this situation, they will say, but why did you go there? But why can't I trust my fellow human being? Why am I supposed to live with the expectation that something is supposed to happen to me? You see, a lot of girls go through that shame period, and after a period of time, they go through the delusion stage. Then after the delusion stage, they go through the, you know what, F everyone, I'm going to take over the world. And you find a lot of young girls putting themselves in the worst kind of situations, all in the name of trying to cope. They tell themselves, oh, I'm free to do whatever I want. Life happened to me, so you know what? I'm free to get involved in things. Half of the young girls that you see on the internet right now, we call it chasing clout. Half of these young girls you see every single day have been through these kind of traumas. And this is their way of coping. But the rest of us will never understand it because all we see are people being dramatic on the internet. Now you think that you're done. You think after a few years, your mind and your body should be used to the idea that something happened to you. But guess what? Your brain never forgets. Your brain doesn't even allow you move on properly. Now, first of all, you kill the idea of trust. Everybody now looks like an attacker. Everybody looks like a suspect. You go through life thinking that, oh, you're healed right now. And then boom, you end up with things like vaginismus and things that will trigger that pain over and over again. It never goes away. For a man, he thinks, oh, it's a moment of pleasure. I'm enjoying myself. I'm going through the motion. But for the victim, this is a lifetime torture. If something like this happens to you at 20, I promise you till you're 80, 90, till you leave this earth, you will still feel the effects of what was done to you. But because women have found a way to cope and women have found a way to move on, you think everyone is strong enough to do that. Now you go to the police, look at someone like Thames, the girl who modeled and went to a photography agent that was assaulted like this. Even with all the proof and facts and evidence, the court still threw out her case. She became a pariah on the internet because people found something to judge her for. Somehow a young girl trying to create a stable environment for herself, now somehow is the bad one. And then you have the other set of men who come out to say, oh, but we also go through this. Bro, it is not the time. Yes, we know that men also go through SA and all that. For some children also, it's a bragging right for them. They do not even understand what is going on with him. To them, they're like, oh, I've become a man. You guys do not speak about things like this. We have to watch our backs as women every single day. Where we go, how we speak, how we respond, every single day. This is not a one-woman thing. This is an every-woman thing. At some point in our lives, we have been molested or essayed or something. Every single day we panic. I have not seen men going around and worrying, oh, they're in a dark spot, something might happen. Women have to constantly worry about this. And the fact that in 2026, a lot of men don't understand this. And the first response they have is jumping to defend themselves is mind-boggling to me. Oh, why did she leave this world? Because she just couldn't deal with it. A lot of people, a lot of women you see walking around are half of themselves. They are broken. They are just a 10% of who they were supposed to be, but they would never know because they are too scared to even leave. So they stay. And they re-traumatize themselves every single day. All because someone decided, you know what? It is my right as a man to take what I want. And this is why I will forever blame people like Mirabel. People like Mirabel should have faced the force of the law to the max. Because a lot of people say, this is a Mirabel case now. Now, women that are already scared to come out find it even more difficult to come out because either something ain't right with the story or maybe they don't even remember properly. And every man will refer to her as a Mirabel. It is very important to always shame women like Mirabel because people like her decided, you know what, it is not even worth living. But we want to say Nigeria is safe. Just this morning, I saw another young lady. She was a POS girl. She was essayed and beaten and unalived and thrown into a little pond or ditch. That is somebody's child, but we'll never know. We keep saying, oh, but men have mothers and sisters. Some men don't care. It is, you know what, may her soul rest in peace because I can't.